Hi guys, Danica Ferrante here from mybeautyscraps.com. I have been having so much fun with Halloween crafts. If you subscribe to me here on YouTube or follow my blog, you know that. I've been sharing lots of projects, and one of the consistent things across most of my Halloween projects is the Happy Haunting washi tape. I have been loving this little washi tape trio. It's so easy to use in different projects, and I've just been adoring it. The little bats are my absolute favorite. I loved it so much because the bats are clearly Halloween, but the other two you can use all year round. But honestly, I think I'm going to use these guys up all on my Halloween projects. I've been using them so much. So this card was actually inspired by my other spooky Halloween card. This one you guys have already seen if you watched my other videos. I used one of the spiderweb doilies here, and I cut off the corner. So I was left with these little corner scraps, and I just hate to throw things away. And I'm always trying to think of ways to use up my scraps. That's kind of where the name for my channel and my website came about, Beauty Scraps, because I feel like you can always find something beautiful to do with even the most tiny little scrap of something. I feel like the projects that I end up loving most of all come from me trying to figure out how to use something in it. So yeah, you see here, I just cut the corner off on this card. So on this card, I was able to use that whole little scrap right there. It's really quick and easy to make. I think this is going to be one of my shorter videos. So let's get started. Okay, I started with a card base in Whisper White, a standard card size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then we're going to layer with a piece of smoky slate, cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And our top layer is going to be Whisper White, cut at 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And don't worry, all of these measurements are going to be on my blog at mybeautyscraps.com. And we're going to use 2 stamp sets today. We're going to use Gorgeous Grunge, which is in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. I just love this set. And we're going to use Among the Branches, which is in the Stampin' Up! 2015 Holiday Catalog. And we're just going to be using the spooky circle image from this set today. So the first thing we want to do is adhere together our smoky slate piece with the Whisper White piece, and I'm just using our snail adhesive. And I wanted to adhere these together first because our spiderweb doily kind of hangs off the edge a little bit. So it helped me see where to place it. And this is going to be adhered on top of our card base with a small border as well, so you don't have to stay exactly inside the smoky slate piece. It can hang off just a little bit. That's what we're looking for. You just want to look for these 2 edges to be straight lines. So to adhere that down, we're going to use the new Stampin' Up! Fine Tip Glue Pen. This is in the 2015 Holiday Catalog. I just got it, so I've been using it for a couple days now. I really like it. The little needle in the cap goes inside the fine tip nozzle, so it prevents clogging. And the fine tip nozzle really allows you to precisely lay down this glue. It is a very liquidy glue, so you don't want to squeeze the bottle too hard or you're going to get a lot of glue coming out. It's pretty runny, but I've found it to be at least a strong enough adhesive to adhere little delicate things like die cuts. I haven't used it yet on sequins, but I've seen lots of other people do that. You do want to hold it down for just a second, but it really doesn't take long to hold. It's not one you have to hold down for a long time. There we go. And we don't have to worry about adhering it very securely because we're going to be using washi tape along the border. So when you close your cap, you just want to make sure that you get that little needle back into the nozzle so your glue doesn't dry out. And then we're gonna start with my favorite of the trio, the little bats. And that's the only one that you really need to worry about going in the right direction. You don't want to put your bats upside down. So I'm just going to use the card as a guide to tear off a piece. I really like the torn edge look of washi tape. And I like to tear it at an angle to really exaggerate that. And when you lay it down, you want this end to be close to the edge, and you want the top to just overlap the spider web just a little. And then we're going to do the same on this side. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way. So now that we have the spider web secure and our first 2 pieces of washi tape down, we're going to do our stamping. So we're going to get our gorgeous grunge. We're going to be using the 2 larger splatters in the set. And I want to start with the Tangelo Twist. I've been using this color a lot in my Halloween projects. It's a great orange, but also a lot of the other Stampin' Up! Halloween products like the washi tape and the Designer Series paper, they use Tangelo Twist as the orange in their Halloween lines this year. So everything coordinates perfectly. That's one of the things I love so much about Stampin' Up! They make everything coordinating easy. So there's our Tangelo Twist splatter. And our other splatter is going to be in Basic Gray. And this is the new Basic Gray archival ink pad that's available in the new holiday catalog. And I have been loving this one as well. And this one, I want the splatters to go almost all the way to the edge. There we go. I love Gorgeous Grunge. So now that we have our splatter stamped, we can finish with the washi tape, just because you're gonna be overlapping them a little bit. It's better to have your splatters under your washi tape than over it. So the next one we're gonna use is this fun purple one. Again, I want more of a rough torn edge there. So we're gonna overlap the bats just a little bit. we're going to do the same thing over here, just overlap the bats slightly. And then we're going to use the orange washi tape in this set and go over the seam between the two of the other washi tapes. But it really doesn't matter. You can do the washi tape however you want, and the splatters too. Like, that's the fun thing about this card. You really cannot make a mistake. And that's what I think is fun about a lot of Halloween projects. They kind of have that rough, grungy look to them, and that makes it fun and festive for Halloween. And it makes the crafting more fun when you're not worried about making a mistake. So there we have everything on the card set except for our spooky circle. So what I did, I actually did the stamping for these ahead of time because I used Stampin' Up's white craft ink, and that does take a little bit to dry. And I stamped that on basic black cardstock. And if you can see there, it really gives a cool effect. Using the craft ink on black, you kind of get a chalkboard effect. But I think because it's Halloween and because it's a circle, it looks a lot like a moon. I think it really adds a lot to the fun, spooky look. So I punched this out using Stampin' Up's 2-inch circle punch. And then I took another product from the new holiday catalog, the black glimmer paper. Look how sparkly. I cut a circle out of the black glimmer paper. I actually used one of the framelit dies from the seasonal frame set. It just layered perfectly with the 2-inch punch, so I used that. I didn't have a punch quite the right size, but you could use a punch as well. And you know me, I've already admitted to my crazy hoarding tendencies. I hate wasting, and I don't want a scrap to go unused. So if you see the back, after I cut a circle of the black glimmer paper, I actually cut out a circle. So now I have a smaller circle, a scrap from the black glimmer paper that I can use on another project. So that's a little tip. Another little tip is I was trying to take the easy way out, and when I was going to adhere the two circles together, first I tried just using a piece of washi tape, but it didn't really hold. So if you're going to use tape, you are going to want to go all the way around the edges so it doesn't lift or curl away. So once I realized that wasn't really working, I just used the regular Tombow multi-purpose glue from Stampin' Up, and that held really well to the glimmer paper. So we have our little spooky circle ready to go, and I want to adhere that down with Stampin' Dimensionals. This is such a simple card. I think the Stampin' Dimensionals really add just the right amount of pop. So before we use Stampin' Dimensionals, we want to get this on our card base because we don't want to squish the Stampin' Dimensionals when we put this all together. So I'm just going to use Snail, which is my favorite adhesive to use for cardstock. Give that a little squish. And then we'll put our Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. I kind of go crazy with Stampin' Dimensionals. I'd rather use too many than not enough. You don't want your card to go through the mail and end up a squishy looking mess by the time it gets to the person you're sending it to. And then when you put that down, you just want to make sure you're covering that exposed corner if you're using a scrap of the spiderweb doily like I am, and make sure you're covering any of your inner torn edges of your washi tape. And that's it. Right? So quick and easy. Let's zoom in a little. I love it. I love how it turned out. I feel like I always feel that way when I'm using up my scraps. I always come up with a cute design out of necessity. Again, if you want to purchase any of these products that I used today, or if you want to get the dimensions so you can make this project yourself, be sure to check out my blog. That's mybeautyscraps.com. I'll have all of the details over there. Down in the description box below, I'll have links to my blog for this specific post that goes with this card, links to my Facebook page, links to my Pinterest. Love me some Pinterest. Links to everything on social media, so you can find me in all kinds of ways. Again, if you guys have any questions, always feel free to contact me. Any questions about this this project, or Stampin' Up! Products in general. I would love the opportunity to be your demonstrator. So that's it for me today. Until I talk to you guys next time, happy stampin'. Bye.